The Victorian era has always had a charm of its own. It was a time of grand houses, quiet streets lit by gas lamps, and people living between strict traditions and the promise of change. These dramas capture that world full of love, struggle, mystery, and resilience. While some Victorian shows are well known, there are others that don't always get the attention they deserve. Tonight, we're looking at 11 hidden gems that bring this fascinating period to life in fresh and unforgettable ways. Far from the Madding Crowd. Based on Thomas Hardy's classic Victorian novel, Far from the Madding Crowd is a sweeping tale of love, independence, and fate. Set in rural England in the late 19th century, the story follows Bathsheba Everdeen, a strong-willed woman who inherits her uncle's farm and decides to run it on her own terms. As Bathsheba builds a life of independence, she finds herself torn between three very different suitors: the steady shepherd Gabriel Oak, the wealthy landowner William Boldwood, and the dashing but reckless Sergeant Troy. Each man represents a different path, and Bathsheba's choices bring both triumph and heartbreak. The film captures the rugged beauty of the English countryside, golden fields, stormy nights, and quiet moments of longing, while staying true to Hardy's themes of resilience, passion, and the unpredictability of life. Bleak House. This BBC adaptation of Charles Dickens' masterpiece is Victorian storytelling at its finest. At the heart of the tale is the endless legal case of Jarndyce and Jarndyce, a lawsuit that entangles generations in greed, secrets, and heartbreak. The sprawling cast includes the gentle Esther Summerson, who quietly holds lives together, and sinister figures like the ruthless lawyer Tulkinghorn and the mysterious Lady Dedlock. What makes Bleak House stand out is how it paints every layer of Victorian society: the glitter of the wealthy, the misery of the poor, and the corridors of power where justice bends to privilege. Gillian Anderson's haunting performance as Lady Dedlock is unforgettable, embodying the era's obsession with appearances versus hidden truths. If you've ever wanted a drama that feels both sweeping and intimate, Bleak House captures the beating heart of Victorian England with every fog-drenched frame. The Suspicions of Mr. Witcher. This series takes inspiration from real-life detective Jonathan Witcher, whose work in the 1860s helped shape modern detective methods. Set in a world where crime was often hushed up to protect family reputations, the show dives into murder cases that reveal the darker side of Victorian life. At its core is the infamous Road Hill House case, a shocking murder within a seemingly respectable family. But the series goes beyond one case, painting Witcher as both brilliant and deeply human, haunted by the burden of truth. Unlike glamorous detective shows, The Suspicions of Mr. Witcher gives us gritty Victorian England, muddy roads, hidden scandals, and the uneasy mix of progress and secrecy. Each story pulls you in slowly, layering suspense with the quiet desperation of the time. It's a reminder that beneath Victorian order lay chaos and pain, waiting for someone like Witcher to bring it to light. Cranford. Based on Elizabeth Gaskell's stories, Cranford is one of those rare dramas that blends humour, tenderness, and quiet reflection. Set in a small Cheshire town in the 1840s, it follows the daily lives of a group of strong, eccentric women. There are romances, family losses, and social changes, but the heart of the story lies in the community itself. The series gently explores how even the smallest towns were touched by the transformations of the Victorian age. What makes Cranford so charming is its warmth. Instead of focusing only on aristocrats or sweeping scandals, it shows us ordinary people, their laughter, their gossip, and their courage in the face of change. It feels intimate, almost like visiting neighbours who always have a story to share. It's a Victorian drama with a beating heart, perfect for anyone who loves gentle storytelling. Fingersmith. Based on Sarah Waters' novel, Fingersmith is a Victorian tale with all the ingredients of intrigue, orphans, con artists, hidden identities, and forbidden love. The story begins with Sue, a young thief raised among swindlers, who agrees to help con a wealthy heiress, Maud. But as the scheme unfolds, unexpected emotions and betrayals twist the story into something far deeper than anyone planned. What sets Fingersmith apart is its boldness. It doesn't shy away from the darker corners of Victorian society, the exploitation, the secrets, and the tight grip of social class. At the same time, it explores love and trust in a world where both are dangerous. Every twist feels earned, and the Victorian setting gives it an atmospheric intensity, from shadowed streets to candlelit estates. It's a drama full of surprises, both thrilling and heartbreaking, and one that lingers long after it ends. Jane Eyre. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre is one of the quintessential Victorian stories, and this BBC miniseries brings it vividly to life. The tale follows Jane, an orphan who grows up facing hardship and cruelty but never loses her quiet strength and moral courage. When she becomes governess at Thornfield Hall, she meets the enigmatic Mr. Rochester, whose brooding presence hides secrets that could shatter both of their lives. What makes this adaptation stand out is the way it captures the emotional intensity of the novel romance laced with gothic mystery, love shadowed by hidden truths. The windswept moors, candlelit corridors, and stark contrasts between poverty and wealth paint a striking portrait of Victorian England. The Woman in White. Wilkie Collins' classic novel comes alive in this adaptation, weaving gothic suspense and Victorian melodrama. It begins with a chance encounter. Walter Hartwright meets a mysterious woman dressed in white on a moonlit road, setting in motion a conspiracy of lies, stolen identities, and family secrets. At its core is Marian Halcombe, one of Victorian literature's most compelling heroines, who battles against the sinister Count Fosco. What makes The Woman in White so powerful is its atmosphere, isolated country estates. It's not just a mystery, but also a reflection on women's power, or lack of it, in an era of constraint. Balancing gothic chills with emotional depth, it creates a story that's as unsettling as it is absorbing. For fans of Victorian thrillers with a touch of the supernatural, this is one you'll wish you discovered sooner. The Crimson Petal and the White. Set in Victorian London's underbelly, The Crimson Petal and the White tells a story as raw as it is mesmerizing. Based on Michelle Faber's acclaimed novel, the drama follows Sugar, a sharp and ambitious young woman determined to escape the confines of prostitution and carve a place for herself in a society that refuses to see her worth. When she enters the world of wealthy businessman William Rackham, their lives become dangerously entangled in a mix of desire, power, and obsession. This series doesn't shy away from the darker truths of the Victorian era: poverty, hypocrisy, and the hidden lives of women on society's margins. Yet, amidst the shadows, Sugar's intelligence and resilience shine. It's a tale of survival and reinvention, richly layered with moral complexity. With its haunting atmosphere and gripping performances, The Crimson Petal and the White shows the Victorian world at its most intoxicating and unforgiving. Tipping the Velvet. Based on Sarah Waters' bold debut novel, Tipping the Velvet is a Victorian tale unlike any other. It follows Nan Astley, a young oyster girl whose life changes when she falls in love with Kitty Butler, a glamorous male impersonator on the music hall stage. Together they dazzle audiences, but behind the glitter lies a story of heartbreak, betrayal, and self-discovery. What makes this drama extraordinary is how it dares to explore hidden aspects of Victorian life: queer identity, class divides, and the search for freedom in a world bound by propriety. Nan's journey is both romantic and raw, making Tipping the Velvet a gem that broadens the way we see Victorian storytelling: fierce, vulnerable, and unforgettable. Desperate Romantics. Set in the 1850s, this BBC series dives into the scandalous world of the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, a group of rebellious young artists determined to shake up Victorian art and society. Their passion spills over into their work, their friendships, and their tumultuous romances. The series doesn't shy away from their flaws: arrogance, jealousy, and recklessness, but that's what makes them so compelling. Behind every canvas lies obsession, ambition, and the price of genius. What makes Desperate Romantics stand out is its energy. It's vibrant, irreverent, and unafraid to show the Victorian world from the eyes of those determined to rebel against it. If you're used to corsets and restraint, this series offers a refreshing burst of chaos and colour. Dr. Thorne. Julian Fellowes' adaptation of Anthony Trollope's novel gives us another side of Victorian life: less London, more countryside intrigue. At the heart of the story is Mary Thorne, a young woman of uncertain parentage, and her love for Frank Gresham, the heir to a crumbling estate. But love collides with money, inheritance, and the relentless demands of social status. What makes Dr. Thorne so compelling is its warmth. Unlike darker Victorian tales, this one balances satire with genuine affection for its characters. Country balls, whispered proposals, and family tensions all play out against lush landscapes and stately homes. It's a drama that proves Victorian storytelling can be sharp yet tender, full of wit and heart.